And alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the self-developed YouTube channel. Beautiful people, sit back, relax, let's get it going guys. Jump on in, come on, the best men's channel on YouTube. But I don't have to say that, you guys already know that, and if you don't yet, you will soon. Anyways guys, with that said, in today's video I titled it, or believe I titled it, what to look for in your wife. Now, I made a video a few days ago, I'll link it up here. It was called How to Court Your Wife, or How to Find Your Future Wife. And a lot of you guys, not a lot of you guys, but some of you guys give me crap saying, David, where's your wife? You know, you're not eligible to speak on this. And, you know, fair, completely understandable. Number one, the vast majority of relationships and marriages today are absolutely horrible, so me not having a wife doesn't necessarily mean I can't give you guys advice on how to do that. I believe this is the vital step in pre-marriage, which is really everything, which is why I'm against dating. I don't say look for your girlfriend because I don't believe in that, guys. You know, you look for your wife from the get-go. So even before you guys are married, that is your wife. There's no question about it. And you have to vet to make sure it is. And if it's not, then you follow the steps that I've given you and you do so, right? I also want to finish it here to you guys. If that didn't make sense, a lot of these answers I've been given to are from my own experience, are from looking in the world, doing my research, the revelations from God. And you have to understand too that I may be single and celibate to the day I die. It may not be in God's will to send me a wife, and I've accepted that. So don't use the example of, oh, you don't have one, therefore you can't tell us. That's false. No, I can still understand how to study certain things and, you know, line things up to understand. But that's fine. Don't take my advice if you don't want to. Anyways, though, guys, through my understanding of human psychology, biology, biblical nature, and understanding what to look for in your wife or your future wife, if it's in God's will, because it's not going to be in everyone's life, guys. I'm sorry. And the sooner you accept that, the better. But the one thing to look for, I've summarized it and calculated into just this, is someone who accentuates who you already are. Now, I know that's going to sound to some people misogynistic. David, are you saying she's just a replica of you? No, I'm not saying that. She's going to have, women and men are very different. She's going to have natural traits and qualities that are so beautiful and intrinsic to her, being much more nurturing, loving. This is what femininity does. But if you think of a good mother, right? You know, your wife, mother, they're very similar because your wife ultimately will become your mother. But if you think of your mother, if you're a true man, which the majority of you guys unfortunately are not, I'm hoping you guys are who watch my channel, but the majority of men are not. If you've actually done things in your life and slayed dragons, the way your mother treats you will be very similar to how your wife treats you. Now, my mom, as an example, I'm not going to go too into depth, but I've made certain choices that caused me to grab my nutsack and make choices that maybe went against them, but I came out victorious. And if you do that long enough, you create your base. Your women submit. Your mother, your wife. I don't know if you have friends that are girls, which you shouldn't. It should literally just be your mother, your wife. That's it. And they submit and they trust your judgment. They trust your authority. That doesn't mean we don't make mistakes as men. That doesn't mean they can't offer us help. Absolutely not. But you've made it out alive enough times and you've proven yourself to be correct enough times that they submit into their feminine frame. So my mom never argues with me. She doesn't say, you know, you gotta do this. Like, that's the majority of your guys' moms, which is why you should move out. You guys, if you still live at home, your mom's not gonna respect you. I don't care who says what. There's a very small minority where maybe that's the case, but it's usually not gonna happen. And your wife, if you've built a strong enough base, will do the exact same thing. So when I go to my mom's house, right, I know this sounds a little silly because it's like, Dave, but that's your mother. Well, really what I'm looking at, guys, is femininity. When I go to my mom's house, they treat you like a king. And that doesn't mean, I don't know, they're like, I don't know, bending over backwards like they're your slave. No. But my mother does anything she possibly can to help me, help my mission. Maybe that's when I go over food. Oh, what type of food? It has to be high protein because David powerlifts. Oh, do you need a powerlifting book? I found this. Hey, David, you know, I'm at Subway. Do you want me to get you something? You know, do you need more coffee? Like little things like that are just intrinsic to you. They'll do everything they can to help your mission move faster. That's what femininity does. Again, I don't care if it's a grandma, maybe it's a coworker friend. But really, though, I think the only two people this should be is your wife and your mother, because anything else is, you got to be careful. Like what is a co-working friend going to do that for you? If that, you're playing with fire at that point, right? Obviously, I'm not going to sleep with my mom, so that's off the table. She's your mother. You love her, and then you love your wife. So those are the only two women who I can see do this. And your wife will be no different. But I need to make this very clear, guys. That will only happen if you first, as a man, are deserving of that. Which, hey, man, look. The reason I don't have a wife yet is because I'm not deserving of that. I don't need that yet. Again, I may never have that. It may not be in God's will. And the vast majority of men are not deserving. There's no reason. You have not slayed any dragons in your life to prove to your wife, right, your future wife, that she should respect you and do certain things. This is what femininity does, right? It has nothing to do with whether it's your mom, your wife. This is femininity. Femininity to masculinity. View masculinity as like a sword. It's like an arrow. Femininity, this is perfect, so I'm playing Elden Ring right now. It binds the arrow with like certain potions. It puts spells on it to make it faster. It makes it a fire arrow. It makes it a lightning arrow. It repairs the arrow. You're still the arrow. Femininity in and of itself is, I don't want to say it's nothing without masculinity, but it has nothing to help. This is why, women will stay at home their whole lives. And then what do? They just kind of help around the house. It's helping her father, right? Your wife either has her father's last name or your last name. There's reasons for this. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm going kind of deep. This is what femininity does, though. Maybe my mom didn't actually, like my dad died when I was young, so maybe I've kind of stepped up to the plate and she kind of knows that. I'm not saying I'm my mom's husband or anything, no, but I've experienced what this means. And actually, that actually makes a lot of sense because I had to become the man of the house at a very young age because my dad died when I was 14. So I went out and I was forced to slay dragons for my younger brother and my mom to give them hope. And I still am. I have a long way to go. And through doing that, it created that level of trust, right? Where was I going with this? So that's what femininity does. That's what your wife will do. I don't care, guys, about any, one thing she has to do because it doesn't matter. Femininity in and of itself is actually limitless. It's beautiful. Like, it's not a matter of, oh, she has to clean or, oh, she has to cook or, oh, she has to do this. Guys, when your woman respects you, right? Notice how I didn't say love because a woman's version of love is respect, right? Respect moves upwards. How does it move upwards? Because when you're an arrow shooting towards the sky, you're moving up. You're following God. When a woman respects a man, she will do anything she possibly can to help you. So it's not a matter of, it's limitless, dude. It's so sad because our society demonizes exactly what that is, femininity. So we live in a feminist society. There is no such thing as femininity anymore. And because of that, ironically or paradoxically, there's also no such thing as masculinity. Because subconsciously, and this is why I say men have to get on monk mode, because men are the leaders, why would men, like here's a perfect example, okay? Let's say I was married, like in the modern relationship. If women are being taught, do not support your man, do not put fire on his arrow or help his way get any better, that is the biggest disservice you can do to your man and therefore God. Now your man's going out to battle with a weak, broken arrow. Can he still get it done? He can, but now he's carrying along extra baggage. He has to worry about certain things that, unfortunately, he shouldn't have to. This is why as men, you should be single on monk mode you better create a lethal arrow where you don't need fire. It's very important. I don't need, hey, David, can I get you food, coffee, da-da-da-da. Is it nice? Does it help? Yes, it helps a lot, but I don't need it. That's the answer. You understand? A lethal system by yourself. And once you've created this lethal system and you've mastered it, then I believe God will see fit to upgrade that. Because you're going to enter a bigger map pack. This is perfect. I love this. I'm playing Elden Ring. This is the only games I play, Dark Souls games. It's probably why, because it's so symbolic with actual real life. I know it sounds kind of cliche or cringe to some of you guys, but that's fine. They're the hardest games ever made. Dark Souls games. They're you will quit. You will not, you're going to hate it. I get so frustrated sometimes. Men always ascend, guys. Men are the ones that go to wars. Men are the ones that fight politically with ideas. The majority of CEOs are men. And if you guys think this is sexist, I don't know what else to tell you. This is in a man's blood to conquer. It's in my blood. It's in your blood. It's to dominate and to do God's work, to fire upwards like an arrow. And when women see this, they will naturally want to help that. They'll want to submit. It'll be a joy to them to bring it full circle. When my mom, when I go to her house, my family's house, my mom and my brother live together once a week or once every few weeks. Man, it's like a delight to them when they help you and cook and this and give you gifts. They love it. That's what women live for. Women are nurturers. That's what it means to nurture something. Imagine you have a plant and you give it life and you decorate. This is why women decorate houses, right? And you water it and you decorate it, you put lights and you give it life. You think of like a literal child, there's nothing that makes a woman happier because a woman's in her feminine frame. But if a woman has no plant or arrow to decorate, to help, to bind, she'll be miserable because she realizes subconsciously that she's not actually pursuing her role as a human. That's some deep stuff. Feminists are not happy. Anyone who has gender confusion as a woman trying to be a man is miserable. They may not believe, but they're miserable. Feminists are the epitome of miserable because they're fighting their own physiology. They want to help, but they're being told that it's wrong, that they should become the arrow, and that's against them. Look at their physiology. Look at the hormones that they produce, right? You can break it down to a biological level of what estrogen does, what testosterone does, how they work together, the contrast between them. But we tend to ignore common sense biology and just we stay too political up here. So that's it, guys. This is an amazing video. That's what to look for in your wife. It has nothing to do with, notice how I said it has nothing to do with like the size of her butt or whatever our modern world tells you to do, because looks in and of itself do not guarantee fire on your arrow. That doesn't guarantee anything. Can that look cool? Sure, it can look cool. It can be like a really cool like satchel to hold your arrows. But like, what good is a satchel if the arrow itself is still broken? That's a perfect analogy. Doesn't matter how amazing your container is, your arrows are crap. Fix your arrow, and that starts with you as the man, not her. Do not blame her for your broken arrows. Like I said, we need our arrow sturdy first, and once that arrow is sturdy, then I believe God will see fit. This is why the majority of you guys will not enter relationships. You're not ready. If I'm not in one, you sure as heck aren't going to be in one. Not all of you, but the majority of you, because you're not doing God's work. Like, there's not to be mean, but the vast majority of you just aren't. Because I know how different I am to the average person, and I'm only here, and I have a long way to go. But you're going to get there, as I will get there. This is how we move. We ascend. And if you do that, if it's in God's will, he'll send you a helper. He'll send you a mage to the warrior. You'll have a Robin to your Batman. And she will be in such bliss and joy because she's serving her role as a woman, which is to submit and to help her man, whose man, us, submits to God in Christ. And moves forwards and fights tyranny. That's how the hierarchy works. It's a win-win. It has nothing to do with oppression. I'm not oppressing my wife. If she, if she wants to leave, if she doesn't want to be my wife, then that's fine. This is why you vet. You don't, you court. You don't just marry someone that isn't sent by God, right? I don't go to my mom's house and say, cook for me, do that. Nothing. I don't even say anything to be honest. I just show up. Boom, 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 because my arrow is so prevalent and strong, it speaks volumes. So that is it, guys. What an amazing analogy. Hope y'all enjoyed. Share this, send it out to the algorithm. With all humility and respect, I'm the best YouTuber for men. I don't care how many views I get, I can say that confidently. And I'm just so ready to travel the world and share this message to everybody. So you guys help me out. You guys are my core audience before I really go viral. So I thank you guys so much. I really mean it for the few of you guys who've watched and comment. Like, you guys are the true OGs, and I appreciate you. I do. So take this information, run it, and focus on your arrow. That's all that matters. That's what monk mode is. It's building your arrow. It's not even worried about the ABCD at all. Okay. Thank you guys. Have an amazing day. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. I'll finish it here with the final plugs. If you guys are interested and would like to work with me on a personal level, you guys know the flex. There's always one-on-one coaching where I can help teach you how to create this metaphorical and literal arrow in your life, guys, by improving things like your fitness, business, mindset, and then relationships. The step down, guys, is group coaching. This is our workshop. I do it every single month, guys. You can come check our workshop of April coming up in a few weeks' time. 4 1-hour calls with myself and a small group of men. Cheaper than one-on-one coaching. Book yourself a spot below. And finally, our third and cheapest option, this is our course. Passive, online, over 3 hours long, giving you guys the practical tools and tips needed to craft this arrow. Fitness, nutrition, intermittent fasting, no-fat meditation, increasing masculinity, finding your passion. Go download the free half-an-hour version below. I will finish it there. You can support Edge. Coupon code Hammond. My throat's starting to get raspy because I've been speaking a lot. I bang out these videos in batches, so I love you all. Let's run it. Continue to do God's work and focus on your arrow, because that's all that you're guaranteed. You're not guaranteed any help with the arrow. That's a bonus if it comes. If it doesn't, then God sees fit you don't need it. And you may not need it. I don't have it right now. I don't need it at the moment. I may never need it. You probably will, but it depends. It's all in his plan, man. See how far you go, okay? So let's run it. Thank you, guys. Go play Elden Ring. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about, all right? Till then, much love. Peace.